Welcome to the Student Information Services PowerSchool Chit Chat Recap. Today is November 22nd, and depending on when you view this video, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday or that you had a great holiday with your family, being thankful for life, thankful for where you are, and thankful for the opportunity to be here, the Newark Board of Education, serving our students, our staff in the capacity that you do. So we had a couple chit chat meetings this month. And so this is just a quick overview of the expectations as we move into storing grades and preparing for report cards next month. On November 9th, our chit chat session went over the important dates, some data management highlights, reports, as well as system reports, PowerSchool updates, document delivery, report card timeline, and provided resources such as the November newsletter. The semester E1 midterms began on November 7th. The dates that needed to be used for exam 1 were November 7th, 8th, and 9th. The quarter ended on November 9th. Quarter 2 began on November 10th. There was an open office for new clerks on November 14th, and grade books were to be finalized on November 16th. We also had an open office on that day to provide any question and answers for clerks who needed our assistance. We are proposing that by November 28th, schools take a look at all the grade books to make sure that everything is okay for when we store them on November 30th. This is an image of the marking period and report card dates. As you can see, Q1, teachers need to finalize the grades by November 16th, and hopefully that has already been done. Since our last chit chat, we ran our SLT data reports, and these are the schools. We have some new schools that were added to the list. We have a few schools who dropped off the last list. So Michelle Obama, Wilson Avenue, First Avenue, Franklin Elementary, and Lewis Munoz Marin are the schools that were added to the list from last time that I shared the list. So thank you to all the schools who have been maintaining their data and had 0 errors on November 8th when I ran the report. In terms of data management, as we are preparing for report cards, these are the reports that we think are priority for you to look at and run. Fix any demographic errors, make sure that students' names appear as they should be on the report card. Any entry and exit codes, those are usually a must, especially if we expect students to take state tests. If the entry codes are incorrect, then new students will have a delay in getting their state IDs generated. So we want to make sure that all the data is correct as they are enrolled in schools. Overlapping enrollment will create duplicate stored grades. So we want to look at those reports to make sure that there are no overlapping enrollments, unintentional overlapping enrollments. There are some elementary schools where students are in electives, and so they're enrolled in the same course more than once. So if you know that's the case, then that's fine. Just be prepared, as I said the last time, to explain that to parents if they ask why there are 2 grades for the same course. Core classes, we want to make sure all our students are getting a grade for all of the core classes. Core classes are classes that, between the district and the state, students are expected to take those classes like health, like PE, right? Every child should be enrolled in those classes in addition to their content area, math, language arts, social studies, science, and so forth. Students not in homeroom, every child should be in a homeroom. As soon as you have synced a student from Schoolment and they are now in PowerSchool, there might be a delay between putting them in homeroom, but the child should not be just in your PowerSchool active without being in a homeroom. Then the other two reports are the school enrollment audit and the section enrollment audit. The data management reports are the ones listed here, and these are the reports that you can find under the SQL reports data management, demographic error, entry code, and exit, not enrolled in core classes, not enrolled in homeroom, and the overlapping course enrollment. These are all found under SQL reports data management, and they all begin with unified data. And overlapping course enrollment is highlighted in red because, again, just reminding you that if these aren't fixed, when we store grades, we're going to store two sets of grades because the student is enrolled in two or more classes. So you're going to have duplicate grades, which you will need to delete, creating more work. So how do we prevent that? We fix the overlapping enrollments before we store grades. The other two reports that I mentioned were the school enrollment audit and the section enrollment audit. And these reports are found under system report, membership, and enrollment. And then look for the names of those reports and correct the errors. If you find these errors and you don't know how to fix them, you're a new clerk, we have information on our support site that can tell you how to do that. Key steps as we prepare for report card is to look at our document delivery status. So find students without emails in document delivery, update those students' emails, and update your school's document delivery messages. How do you find students without document delivery emails? You run the SQL reports, data management, students without document delivery address. And that will give you a list of all the students who do not have an email address in their document delivery, which means those parents will not, that student's parents will not get an electronic report when they are sent out. How do you update students' document delivery emails? So search for the student, go to the student's screen, look for document delivery on the left side, enter the appropriate email addresses, and make sure you check the box that says enable document delivery. How do you update your school's document delivery message? We have documentation on our support website, which I will give you the link shortly. But within PowerSchool, if you click on School, Digital Document Delivery, look for that heading, then look for Document Delivery. Enable Document Delivery by checking the box. Update the subject, so the subject might not reflect the message that you're about to send out. So for report cards, you want to update it to say Cycle 1 report card, and then you want to update the message. So we have a list of messages that you can just copy and paste into this area. So this is the basics of how you update your message. The report card timeline is November 7th through 9th. Again, only those dates should be used for E1 assignments. So in the high school, no other assignment should have those dates, right? So if you didn't do that, now is the time to fix it before grades are stored. November 9th is when the cycle ended. So November 10th, cycle 2 began. So we are now in cycle 2. If you go in the gradebook, if teachers go in the gradebook and are entering grades for Q1, they must make sure that the dates include September 5th through November 9th. If they add a date for November 10th, that assignment is going to go towards cycle 2. All right, November 16th, we said grades needed to be finalized in the gradebook. And then we're going to store grades on November 30th. So when our team is finished storing the grades, we will send out an email so that you can check a few of those grades to make sure everything was stored correctly. And if at that time you find errors, then, you'll go through the process. If it's a system-wide error, let us know right away so that we can look and make sure that we've done everything correct on our part. If there is a teacher that didn't enter a grade or a mistake was found, then you'll have to use the historical grade change process to fix those errors. And then on December 7th, report cards will be scheduled for document delivery, and there'll be a 1 p.m. dismissal for parent-teacher conference to meet with parents, meet with the teachers. So we also recommend that you save the reports. So clerks, as you run these reports in PowerSchool and schedule them for document delivery, try to save a copy of them, archive, create a system where you have a copy of them so that if a parent, calls and asks for it, you can just pull up the file and print out that particular student's report as needed. So before we stole grades, so I'm recording this message the day before Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking you're not gonna watch it until you get back on next Monday. So between then and the 30th, you can still run these gradebook reports. Look to see what's happening in the gradebook. This is under, from the start page, PSCB Dev Reports Grading. So you school administrators can use the grading PT Pro Gradebook reports to see what's currently in the gradebook, and whatever is in the gradebook, that's what's going to be stored when we store them on the 30th. So take a minute to do that prior to the 30th. So the reports that you can look at are the class assignment metrics, class category and assignment summary, grades and comments, grade search to see if, an entire class received all Fs. You can do that and see what's happening. Look at the categories that are being used. Make sure that there are only summative and formative categories associated with assignments. Those are the only categories that will make sure that the grades will be calculated correctly towards the student's final grade. The Gradebook Missing Grades report is also a useful one to look at now. All right, so that's it in terms of preparing for report cards on December 7th. We have a new way that we're encouraging our schools to contact us if you need support. It is our support form. It is accessible from our website. Fill it out. We ask that teachers, so a teacher can fill it out, but we ask that they communicate with either the PowerSchool clerk, the tech lead, or an administrator to see if someone at the school can help before they complete the form. Our newsletter is up on our website. This is a copy of it. It just goes over a lot of the things that I already mentioned. Parent web access. So we definitely want to start making sure that all of our parents have a web access or data access account, and there is a document that can guide you through how to set up that process. It has a link to the historical grade change form and list of all of our team members. Check out the newsletter. Happy Thanksgiving. And this takes you to our PowerSchool support website, which was the next thing on the agenda. So the support website has a link to the support form that I spoke about. It has a link to Cycle 1 timeline, since that's what we're focusing on now. You can get to PowerSchool and PowerTeacher. And if you go to PowerSchool, click on Info and Resources, you have all of the report card documents, the document delivery guide, and the messages that you can use to copy into your document delivery that I talked about earlier. And going back to the home page, if I go back to PowerSchool, the Unified Data Management reports, you're running the reports, you're not sure what to do or how to fix them, these support documents will tell you how to do that. So that is it for the recap. I hope I didn't go over that much time. So thank you for watching today's recap of the PowerSchool Chit Chat Clerk WebEx